Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, and we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for as little as $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In the previous video we looked at MMTLP and also XOM ILUS, so please refer back to the previous video for updates on ILUS and MMTLP. In today's video we're also going to be looking at MMTLP, and the focus is going to be on continuing the rumour with regard to Exxon, also looking at S1 approval potential and further details and potential double squeeze, so stay tuned for that. So before we make a start, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the markets. So headline here from Yahoo Finance, the markets are seesawing right now, earnings is looming, so it's a mixed picture. The S&P 500 is down approximately 0.2% and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down approximately 0.1%, so a little bit jittery at the moment. So let's start by having a look at MMTLP. We still don't have S1 approval, but there are strong rumours that it is fairly imminent. It doesn't really matter when it happens because it is going to happen fairly soon. So no need to worry when we get approval, because so far the shorts have tried and failed to drive this down below 6, and so far we are getting some excellent momentum. So let's have a look at the chart for MMTLP as a time of editing. We can see here right now it was trading at $8.40 and it's also up close to 15.8%. And I'd like to give a shout out here to Tony from Market Moves, and he's also said that it earlier hit an all-time high of $8.30, so we've just seen it has breached that and now gone to $8.40. So it is still just getting started. Many people have made significant amount of dollars. Remember, just a few weeks ago this was trading around about the $1.50 mark. It's now close to $9, so in many people's eyes that is a significant gamma squeeze taken place already, but obviously that is not enough for us. So the SEC has still yet to approve the filing. That's not happened. When that happens, then the shorts will be under pressure to cover, and that's when, as far as we're concerned, the real games will start. So, and another shout out here to Tony. There was another few posts that I saw with regard to Fidelity. So for clarification here, special thanks to Tony who's phoned up Fidelity. Here's the phone number: 2022-1114. You can call them, but you must ask for the fixed income desk. If you ask anywhere else, they will say we cannot sell. We're now going to have a look at the possibility of a double squeeze. So let's have a look at the chart for MMAT, and it has done exceptionally well today. So at time of editing it was trading at around about $1.75, and at one point it was also trading around about $1.70. I think it has just now come down close to $1.70, but again still a tremendous day here for MMAT. And remember, we do have the grand opening this week, so that will certainly be something that is positive. Earnings was mixed, but overall revenue showed tremendous increase. They have enough cash for a year, so a good overall result with regard to earnings, bearing in mind they are still in the early stages. So let's have a look at a recent development. So this is a headline just released 17 minutes ago at time of editing from Investor Place, and the headline here is: a short squeeze brewing in Metamaterials. A significant short squeeze doesn't seem likely for MMAT, but let's see what this Investor Place article is saying. So we're looking at short interest as a percentage of float, 2.4%, equivalent to 7.65 million shares worth $8.11 million, and it is down 35% on the year to date. However, we have seen significant increase probably over the previous month, well in excess of 150%. So that's what we're looking at. So furthermore, we can see today the stock is close to 30% in terms of earnings. Revenue was up 329% year on year, so impressive figures for revenue. Obviously we do know the company is not making a profit. The net loss reported was 24.7 million, but that was as we expected. So let's have a look at the headline here: will MMAT stock experience a short squeeze? So So many investors and analysts and retail are certainly looking at this with a strong possibility. So what the article is saying here is, as of October 31st, short interest is as a percentage of float 2.4%, 7.6 million shares short. And we can also say it will take one trading day to fully cover. So with MMAT stock up so much on no material news apart from earnings, and I think we also have got the grand opening this week. So the article here is kind of being a little bit cautious, but definitely we have seen a strong possibility of a squeeze here. And the other thing I think the article is not going to mention is that any profits from MMTLP are likely to be significantly invested in MMAT. So that's a further additional factor that we can look at. And finally, the last part of the article, we can see here confirmation. The stock is up approximately 90% for the 1 month, but if we go back a little bit further, 6 weeks, it is up in excess of 150%. So driven by the Memorandum of Association, you got DuPont, Teijin Films, Mitsubishi Electric Europe. There was also a significant LG rumour suggested by George, which I think is going to have some significant substance. So long term, this will be a tremendous investment for people to consider MMAT. What I'd now like to do is have a look at the rumour with regard to Exxon. So this was something that was covered in the previous video where I talked about the earnings and the amount of cash that they have, which is estimated to be around about $30 billion. And also the statement with regard to Exxon looking for potential acquisition. So that was covered in the previous video. So in terms of a follow-up, I'd like to give a shout out here to the Silver Lady who's asked me a question here on Twitter, and that is this fake? So this is an alleged tweet from Exxon Mobil, and it states here, we are excited to announce our multi-billion-dollar acquisition of NextBridge Hydrocarbons. Read more here. One thing I would like to say is, first of all, this is something that was shared initially on social media by another person. So let's have a look at my response. And what I've stated here is Exxon never tweet from an iPhone. So if you have a look at there, that this tweet is from an iPhone. Check their official handle and see how their tweets are processed. So this is actually a fake, so I'm going to call this a fake, although obviously nobody would like this to be more true than myself, but that is definitely a fake. So not true. Exxon did not tweet this, and even if it were true and if it was a mistake, it could jeopardize the deal. So we cannot stand by anything with regard to this in terms of having any authenticity. So just for clarification purposes, this is an official real tweet from Exxon Mobil. If you have a look at highlighted at the bottom, they always tweet from a Coros publishing app. So that's one of the signs. And we can also see here in the tweet, it is very similar, but obviously this is something that the company would not do, tweet something by mistake in such a very, very delicate matter. What I'd now like to do is share with you an excellent post from 1K, so shout out to 1K, and the post here was MMTLB will be on for the books, inspired by trading secrets. So thank you very much 1K. So let's have a look at the post, and the post here is birds will fly and the shorts will die. The shorts will had their fun, and now it's time for MMTLP to run. Running past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and then 9, we won't be selling for pennies on the dime. On the up and up to 100 plus, maybe then you can have a few shares for some of us. See you at $1,000 per share. Shortage, you've suppressed us for a tad bit too long. Covering and covering, the rats are scurrying, squeezing and squeezing, my portfolio is finally breathing. MMTLP a squeeze to be recorded in history. So an excellent post there, and an excellent little bit of poetry inspired by some of the posts that I've been sharing. So check them out. So one more shout out here, and that's to what's happening. So in response to my post here, the double squeeze will start with the tease and then finish with the breeze. And I think a better reply here, than certainly a better poetic response than myself, is from what's happening, who's continued the theme and stated the breeze will freeze the shorts with ease and bring them to their knees. After all, they must pay their fees or their accounts will freeze before they are seized, just as is done to the sleaze. Thank you very much. Absolutely excellent post. What I'd now like to do is finish off by giving a shout out to our weekly watch list. This includes a number of stocks that were called out this week, including MMTLP, which we've just seen do exceptionally well today. We also called out ILUS, and that was up close to 6% today, so a good call there. INKT, I think that was down a little bit, so remember, not all calls are successful. Ticker symbol TACT, that was up in excess of 4.3%. WISH, we also called out TBLT, so that was an excellent call. That was up close to 68% today, so congratulations to everybody who got in TBLT, which is one we were watching. I also called out COSM, and that's also done exceptionally well, and we were particularly interested in the short interest data for that, and I think that was up close to 23% today. So in order to get our daily stock alerts and our weekly watch list, you can certainly consider joining in the weekly in the Discord for little as $9 a month. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.